Hello, this is Larry, and this is a continuation of our design and price system online, and we are on video number 6. If you did the previous video, after the first screen, if you push next, the system will go to the database and retrieve the default or rough data on the loads and codes for that zip code. And then it will display it here on page 3 because number 1 is a setup. So basically it's the second page you come to. And this is the most important page because the design criteria would be centered around what you put here for snow and wind load and the code that it's going to calculate the design by. For instance, if you had another 1 pound of snow load per square foot on a 5,000 square foot building, well, that's 5,000 pounds more the roof has to hold. So it's obviously going to make a difference on how the steel is optimized to support the weight needed in order to meet that particular code. So let's go through it field by field here. And obviously the first one is the building code. And mine defaulted to 09, but I think it's 12 right now. The city of Colorado Springs, El Paso County, Colorado, and normal occupancy. And normal occupancy can't be changed with our online system because if you needed a high occupancy or assembly or some other kind, we would do that here in the office. And then the wind speed is editable, and the minimum wind speed for the 2012 is 115. So you would make sure to confirm those and enter those values. I know that this is sea exposure here, so you would edit whatever they tell you to. And then this is partly for Canada if you are in Canada, and open condition and partly open, like an arena with no walls or something like that. In open, even though you think a hangar would be open, it's actually still a closed condition. So open would be just basically a roof only. So I would leave that as a closed condition. And then dead load is basically the weight of the steel itself over your head as a weight. Roof live load is defaulted at 20, and I wouldn't change that. I would just leave the roof live load at 20 because that's pretty much defaulted all over the country, except in Canada it's usually 21. Ground snow, we don't allow you to edit, and that is because ground snow, like let's say for instance you put a ground snow in of 40, it's a calculation that makes the roof snow the next field, and the roof snow is actually what governs the design. So it would be a two-step process if we put ground snow in, and then it would have to calculate roof snow with the rest of the data that you enter in order to come up with the roof snow amount. So basically we just leave it, and if you have to do that, you have to get a hold of the office and we'll do it for you. But you can edit roof snow directly, and then that will have the impact on the design that you need, and that will show up in the calculations and everything. And then roof collateral load is basically anything that hangs from the ceiling. And we do a default of half a pound, which like on a 5,000 square foot building, that's 2,500 pounds, which basically accounts for lighting or just the minimum amount. Like let's say if you're going to do a T-bar ceiling in lighting, then you'd probably do 1 pound, for instance. Then seismic, we don't allow you to edit. If you need those kind of things done, we'll do it here in the office. And then tributary, we do allow you to do the tributary difference, but the newer codes don't have as much of an effect on it. In some states allow you to do that. It just doesn't seem to have the impact that it used to on older codes. And then you could obviously choose, no plans or stamped plans or calculations also, depending on what you need, but we just defaulted to stamped plans for everything, which makes sense. And then here at the end, you just simply need to agree and accept. And the reason why we do this is because our default or our basically guess of what your loads and codes are would be for your zip code are just that, a default guess. So you need to take this data when the system ends, and this data will be on the quote, and have it confirmed to make sure that that's what you need, because we wouldn't know where your building site is specifically or what elevation would be impactful of snow loading or even how close you are to the coast if they often change the codes for the wind speed, because it seems like hurricanes are more of an issue lately. We wouldn't know if they got together last night and decided something different. So you need to actually print this out when you get the quote done, take it down there and confirm it, and then do another quote and then enter the values that they give you, and then you'll have an effective or an exact quote for what you need. Then when you're done with this page, make sure it's what you like because you can't come back to it. Then you just simply push next, and then the next button will go to the layout page. And that's it for this video. This is Larry with Rapidset Metal Buildings, and thanks.